Please rise and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning and welcome to RPtv. Today is Monday, October 21st, 2019. Our top story comes out of Roselle, but it is something that everyone should pay attention to, especially if you are concerned with the safety of your personal property. Caitlin has that report.
The Roselle Police Department posted on social media this past week to remind people to lock their doors. Cars can get broken into at any time, but locking your car can help. Help us to reduce motor vehicle burglaries with a few simple steps to make your vehicle a less attractive target. Lock your car, take your keys, and hide your belongings. Call the police department if you see any suspicious activity, Roselle Police stated on their post. If someone is trying to break into your car and they see it's locked, they will usually move on. The police have stated that valuables should be out of sight. They said not to leave any money, purses, or wallets on the seats. The police also said that if you are at home and you have security cameras, make sure they are activated at all times.
For the last 4 weeks, a family in South Jersey has been searching desperately for their missing daughter. In fact, it has evolved into a huge community effort. Barbie has the details.
Volunteers persisted in the search of Dulce Maria Alaves, a 5-year-old Bridgeton girl, despite the rainy weather. The search began at 9 a.m. at the playground where she was last seen before she went missing on September 16 at Bridgeton City Park during a family outing. Will Rackley, a Pennsylvania resident, along with Christine James, organized the effort to search for Alaves, who has been missing for a month now. The group planned to search the parts of the city that have not received attention. A reward of $52,000 is being offered. Dulce is about 3 feet and 5 inches tall, with brown eyes and brown hair. She was last seen wearing a yellow shirt with a picture of elephant, black and white pants, and white shoes. Anyone with information is asked to call the New Jersey State Police Missing Persons Unit.
Now it's time for announcements. The GSA evening meeting that had been scheduled for Tuesday, October 8th has been changed. The new date is Tuesday, October 22nd. It will still be at 6 p.m. in room 18. In addition to our regular discussions, it will also be a game night. New members are encouraged to attend. Spanish Club. Hispanic Heritage Celebration will be tomorrow after school in the cafeteria. If attending, please talk to Miss Almanzar for details. Dance Club. Next meeting will be Tuesday, October 22nd in the auditorium at 3 p.m. All are welcome. Come dressed to dance. Students always showing support. Meeting on Wednesday, October 23rd, after school in room 5. School of Rock will have its next meeting on Wednesday, October 23rd in the band room at 3 o'clock. Bring your instruments. New members are welcome. See Mr. Wachowski for questions. For remind notifications, text at RPHS Rock to 81010. Class of 2023. Class trip to Brighton Asylum. When? Thursday, October 24th, 7 p.m. Cost $37. Ticket price includes pizza and drinks, transportation, and ticket to haunted house. Permission slips are available on the class bulletin board. See Mr. Salamanca or Mrs. Arango with any questions. Picture retakes and College Career Day. Picture retakes are Wednesday, October 23rd. It's College Career Day, so if you're planning on wearing a college career shirt, remember to bring another shirt for the picture. Sophomore class shirts are on sale now. This year we are offering short sleeve, long sleeve, or a hoodie. Order forms are on the class bulletin board in the library and at www.rphslibrary.org/2022. Orders are due October 25th. See Mr. Fucci or Ms. Lumpke with any questions. Freshmen, class of 2023. Class t-shirts are for sale. Order forms are available on the bulletin board. See Mr. Zarango or Mr. Salamanca with any questions. All forms are due October 30th. If you are interested in purchasing a yearbook for $90, contact Mr. Fucci at vfucci@rpsd.org. There is a limited number of yearbooks available. School Supply Drive. Interact is sponsoring a school supply drive until the end of October. If you have any items you would like to donate, please bring them to room 1. Anything is greatly appreciated.
Now.
As of right now, it's around 60 degrees, if not lower. The high for today will be 68 degrees with a low of 55 degrees. The wind will be at 8 miles per hour. During the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday, we'll have a 40 to 60% chance of rain. Tomorrow we'll have a high of 64 degrees and a low of 55 degrees. As of Wednesday, it's a little similar, but with a high of 60 degrees and a low of 45 degrees. Thankfully, Thursday and Friday. Thursday will be sunny and so will Friday with some clouds. However, the week will continue to have low temperatures between 64 to 45 degrees, so dress warm and cozy.
The city of Chicago is entering another week with their school system locked in a struggle between the teachers and the Board of Education. Caitlin has that report.
In Chicago, more than 300,000 students are getting a day off today because of a contract between the teachers and the nation's third largest school district, their third day off in a row. The school district announced last night that school would be canceled due to the strike. The Chicago Teachers Union, which is 25,000 members, are asking for smaller classes and for more resources for the school. This is one of the biggest school walkouts since 2012. The CPS has sent a letter to parents saying they're committed to finalize their deal with the union.
Stay tuned, we will be right back. Thanks for watching RPtv. Have a great day and stay tuned for CNN 10.
Mondays are necessary. Doesn't have quite the same ring as Friday's awesome, but we hope your week's off to a good start, and we thank you for spending 10 minutes of your Monday with CNN 10. I'm Carl Azus at the CNN Center. First story takes us to North Korea. There's a lot that happens here that's unknown to the outside world. North Korea is a secretive country that threatens people who expose those secrets, and it doesn't allow independent media organizations to exist. The government controls the radio and TV stations that are allowed, and it's illegal for North Koreans to listen to broadcasts made from other countries. So in a nutshell, if the dictatorship doesn't want certain information getting out, it makes it difficult and dangerous for North Koreans to find it out. And as far as foreign journalists are concerned, North Korea limits who's allowed in, where they're allowed to go, and what they're allowed to cover. That's why international observers are confused by something noticed recently at some high-rise buildings in North Korea's capital. The views, which once overlooked the rooftops of government buildings, are now blocked, obstructed, or blurred by new coverings. According to the New York Times, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has built up a number of high-rise apartments, and the people allowed to live there are elite members of society. But the top floors of these apartments are where these coverings have appeared. nknews.org and the Daily NK, two websites outside North Korea that focus on news inside the country, say the coverings block the views of North Korea's Forbidden City to tourists and citizens, and also prevent pictures of government buildings from being taken and sent outside North Korea.
Chad O'Carroll, correspondent for the South Korea-based news website NK News, was recently checking a lead on a construction project in the North Korean capital when his sources noticed something strange. Near an important section of Pyongyang, O'Carroll's sources saw many upper-floor windows in some luxurious high-rise apartment buildings mysteriously covered. And at great risk, they started to take pictures.
These window bars are made of concrete, they're immovable, and they are basically either fully opaque or they are kind of slats that just allow you to look in one way.
Look at O'Carroll's comparison for NK News of a tower block in the Changchun apartment complex about a year ago and now. O'Carroll says his sources observed what they believe are hundreds of apartments and hotel rooms with windows covered, and in some cases only on upper floors. Windows at the Koryo Hotel, a famous destination for tourists, were replaced with translucent covers so guests can't make out detail of anything outside.
And the overarching goal of all of these is, as far as we understand, to prevent people being able to look into what's known as North Korea's Forbidden City.
The Forbidden City, analysts say, is a nickname for a section of Pyongyang where important government buildings are located, the headquarters of the Korean Workers' Party, and other offices where Kim and the elites from his inner circle conduct business. The position and height of many of these now blocked windows, analysts say, seems to be fueling the regime's paranoia.
If you were an assassin, you'd probably love to be someplace higher up. If you wanted to try and eavesdrop, if you wanted to observe who was coming in and who was going, if you wanted to try and establish somebody's schedule, these would all be apartments that would give you a great view of who was in which office.
But by closing off these windows in what's known as Pyonghattan, Kim's regime is also likely taking away the views of some people who are very powerful. Top North Korean officials who've been given those exclusive apartments. Those elites who analysts say the dictator bribes with luxury goods and cash to keep him in power.
When you get to the stage that you're blocking the view of your apparently trusted elite families in North Korea, I think it's something that is potentially going to breed some discontent.
Others say those who've been elevated to power by the supreme leader likely understand this is something they may just have to swallow.
This is a regime that maintains its authority through open execution with mortar rounds and anti-aircraft cannon. Compared to that, having your nice window barricaded is not exactly something worth dying for.
More delay and more questions in the process of Brexit, the British exit from the European Union. Britain is scheduled to leave the EU on October 31st, and an agreement between the country and the EU on exactly how to do that would make things smoother and more organized. The government of Prime Minister Boris Johnson did recently make a deal with the EU, but Britain's parliament has to approve it first. And in a vote held Saturday, when lawmakers were expected to either approve or reject the deal, they delayed making a decision on it, and they passed a law requiring the Prime Minister to ask the EU for another delay in the Brexit process. The European Union could accept or reject that request. Britain's parliament could still pass the Prime Minister's deal with the EU. So bottom line, it's still uncertain what'll happen next when it comes to the Brexit. 10-second trivia. Who conducted the first spacewalk, which took place in 1965? Yuri Gagarin, Alan Shepard, Alexei Leonov, or Ed White? While Ed White was the first American to do it, the first ever spacewalk was made by Soviet cosmonaut Alexei Leonov. His spacewalk attempt was kept secret until it happened. Leonov later told the Smithsonian that when his 4-year-old daughter saw him making the spacewalk on TV, she cried, "Please tell Daddy to get back inside." He and his crewmate faced a series of life-threatening challenges afterward before they made it home. So it's risky. And on Friday, Americans Christina Cook and Jessica Meir also stepped out for a walk about 248 miles above the Earth's surface. And they also made history in the process.
NASA astronauts Christina Cook and Jessica Meir nailing the first all-female spacewalk. The women working outside the International Space Station, replacing a broken battery charger. NASA streamed the event live. The two astronauts seen emerging from the hatch of the space station to start their mundane-sounding work, making history in the process. Identified by their bulky spacesuits, Cook in the red stripes, Meir plain white. A helmet cam giving their POV.
The twist will move towards us so we can get better eyes on it. Okay?
And what you're hearing, them communicating with each other. Watch Meir pass by Cook's dangling feet.
I'm right beneath your feet, so don't move down.
And communicating with NASA HQ back on Earth.
I have to ask, where are we flying over? It's beautiful.
The answer, 400 kilometers up from a spot just south of Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The first all-female spacewalk was supposed to take place back in March, cancelled due to issues getting a couple of spacesuits the right size, says NASA. This was Cook's 6th spacewalk, Meir's first, although they have trained together for the past 6 years. 42-year-old Meir holds a doctorate in marine biology. 40-year-old Cook is an electrical engineer. She's been up there on the International Space Station since March and will be until February, breaking the record for the longest single spaceflight by a woman.
So for us, this is really just us doing our job. It's something we've been training for 6 years and preparing for. And at the same time, we recognize that it is a historic achievement. And we do, of course, want to give credit to all of those that came before us.
Nick Watt, CNN, Atlanta.
There's a new resident at the Paris Zoological Park. See if you can guess what it is. It can grow as fast as 1.5 inches per hour. It has no mouth, but it likes to eat bark and oatmeal. It has no brain, but scientists say it can communicate and solve problems. And it's not an animal, a mushroom, or a plant. Give up? It's a blob, a slime mold. We don't expect it to be the most exciting organism at the zoo, because after all, it's not really a fun guy, and watching it tends to get mold after a while. But when it's excited, it can blob a lot. When it's sad, we bet it blobbers. And we hear it likes movies like The Blob, The Green Slime, and Ghostbusters, though it always roots for Slimer. I'm Carl Azus for CNN 10, and it's just too bad we're all out of slime today.